Wait a minute. How come I can't turn the light on? There it is. Okay. Love you model. Nebraska live stream 3/9/26. This from Algona, Washington. This one is not Nebraska related, but she wanted to see it. This is 62 or 63. Barry, how's it going? 63, 64, A and BC footballers. Trevor Hockey. Many of the 60s soccer cards and 70s were actually copy of the year prior Topps Baseball. And these I already did. What's new with you, Barry? Yeah, no kidding. Even if you weren't any good at it, I mean, that's just something that the fans, the announcers, whatever, they would pick up on, and you'd be a fan hit right away. I would think, anyhow. Nothing new here. I'm just going to show some cards. Okay, we got... Just go through a few autographs here. Who's this? Bobby Newcomb. Assume that's legit. I didn't get that autograph myself. Johnny Rogers. Johnny Rogers. Rozier numbered to 25. 18 to 25. Then from 89, Leasley. Bob Newton. Rick Bonus. Walt Barnes. These are all autographed, of course. Jim Scow. And Kelvin Clark. Yeah, that took a while, didn't it? I saw that. I thought Roger Craig was already in the Hall of Fame. Wonder Mons. He's got a kid, I think, that's playing now. Harry Grimminger. Darrell White. Colton, how's it going? Jerry Murtaugh. I think he's autographed that sign, too, if I remember right. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a Orange Bowl sign, I'm assuming from the parking lot. So it says reserved parking. And signed by, I think, 20-some players. Mark Trainowich. John McCormick. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. John Dutton. Another John Dutton. I don't have the whole set autograph. Well, some of them, there's no way it could happen. Joe Armstrong. The earliest autographs I have from this are players in the 30s. There's a 84-85 Tom Osborne. Nebraska Police. Back when police could actually give out football cards. Here's that Tom Osborne I was talking about in a previous short. 25 of these. Tom Osborne. I've got several others of him too. I just don't know where they're at. There's a Leasley of Tom Osborne. Mike Rozier. You know, I think I've got the police card autograph too. I know I do. I've got to have. 84 USFL, Mike Rozier. And I know this ain't Nebraska, but there's a Barry Switzer. Those that are old enough to know about it, well, even you new people not to know about it, they ought to. Do these three. Yeah, he does. There's that 25 on it. Nebraska, Luke Lindenmeyer, 101. That was from Lincoln, Nebraska. This one from Plain City, Ohio. Two of 15, Luke Lindenmeyer. I like how he actually signed his whole name for the... I like how he signed his whole name for the 101, but all the rest of them he signs like this. And he actually has a pretty cool one because, you know, his number 44, LL. He proposed to his girlfriend after he scored his first touchdown. That was the Akron game. This is from Lincoln, Nebraska as well. Luke Lindenmeyer. Now this one isn't numbered. Model and I listened to that game. We don't get it on TV. I just have antenna. But heard it on the radio. I think it's pretty cool, so I'm collecting Luke Lindemeyer cards. Let's see, what else we got here? I've got... I have another Switzer autograph, but that is 1960 CFL. Verl Switzer. I'll put a few of these in. Another pack? I was thinking there were 6 packs of those I had. I'm going to put some of these in top loaders. I hate doing that, though, without... penny sleeves. This is a monthly subscription. It's Timeless from On It. Kendall Blue. Braden Frager. Cale Jacobson. Will Cooper. Burke Bjorktunsel. Or Bjorktunsel, one of the two. That name is probably Swedish. Turkey. I knew that. I should have known that. Turkey. You can order these at onit.com. There's plenty of different colleges you can get them from. Will Cooper. That's I'm going to say that's Lithuanian. Ugnius Jarosavicius. Yeah, Lithuania. My grandma's from Latvia, which is just right next door. Saldus, Latvia. Is going to get a top loader. Rink Mast. Pretty sure he's from Iceland. Netherlands. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. During World War II, half my family fought for the Nazis and half of them fought for the Americans. And her brother, Arnold, drove a Panzer. And when he came back to Saldus, he saw that the town was bombed out. And so he hung himself because he thought everybody was dead. That's the only casualty we had from World War II. Braden Frager, Connor Segian, Jamarcus Lawrence. And it turns out they were actually in a German camp at the time that they... Yeah, I got a few of... I think I got a couple of Hoibergs. I know I have one. He's a good coach. Nebraska never had a basketball team. Both the men and the women have been doing good. Natalie Potts. Eliza Malpin. Webster Groves, Missouri. What else have we here? Petra Bozan. Where's that? Croatia. High school. V. Gymnasia Vladimir Nazor. Logan Nisley. Britt Prince. She's pretty good. Just a sophomore. Allison Wiedner. They're all pretty good. The Hoiberg autograph, is that an Iowa State card or is that pro? This one feels pretty thin. Britt Prince. Amaya Hargrove. Natalie Potts. O'Fallon, Missouri. Claire Johnson. Alana Neal. Jessica Petrie. One of the two. Oh, okay. That's cool. Then each pack has one of these in there. Yeah, this Andy Jackson is numbered. Six of 20. This is like the gold version of those stained glass cards. I don't know. Actually, no, I'm going to put that in one of these. That actually shines up better than that. Junior. What else do we got? Ryan Hunter, Skylar Pierce, Carrie Leanbach, Rebecca Alec, Bergen Riley. Well, that is definitely the hit of the box, 5-pack. I like how that's sitting in there. There we are. Didn't damage it any. Yeah. You can't really find comps on eBay for any of these. I'm not selling them anyhow, but some of them go for over $100. The highest price one that I've seen is $2,000, but that's a 101 of this style of card of the 400 sellout. I'd like to have it, but they want $2,000. I'm not gonna participate in that madness. If I could get it for like $100, I would do it. Even a couple hundred or something, you know. And it is possible to get autographs on those. It's I think $39.98 for a monthly subscription, which I had to cancel because I have been out of work since January. So this is actually the January box. And I'll know, excuse me, I'll know this week if I got the job at Motoplex or Mid-States. Motoplex starts out 45,000 a year, and Mid-States is at 20 to 25 an hour to start. What are these here? Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. So what do you got going on this week, Barry? Anything exciting? It was damn near 80 degrees here today. Well, typically a toothache, depending on how bad it is, lasts 2-3 days or a couple weeks. I haven't been to the dentist since I was 10 or younger. Last time, I believe, at the dentist, I was sitting there, and you know what a raincoat is when they put that like metal frame in your mouth, and they got the plastic deal. They work on just one tooth. Well, they had that all bolted in and everything, and there was an accident right outside. And you know, it scared the shit out of me because boom, you know, and whatever. Whitney is the dentist. He got a shock because that freaking raincoat and frame just shot out of my mouth because I was like, wow, you know, what the hell? Because, you know, little kid, and then just like a loud, just bang wreck. And I was like, screw it, I'm not going to the dentist ever again. My parents had no choice in that. I put my foot down. Which I know sounds ridiculous because what the hell's a 10-year-old kid gonna do? But no, I might have been 8, somewhere around there anyway. But no, that was it. No more dentist. And I've needed to go to the dentist, but no, I won't. Not scared of them. I'm just not going to do it. Nothing good has come out of it. So I'm not doing it. Mid-80s today. That's something else. Whew. I think there's going to be quite a few fires this year. Grass fires, that type of thing. Throw the cigarette, you know. We had a storm a whole week or so ago, a week or two ago. The lightning started a grass fire, and the rain and snow put it out. It was a real freak deal. My Bell had possibly a quarter of a can of food today. I got a nice fireproof place for that. Matka, how's it going? Good to see you. Everyone be sure to check out It's Matka. He's got a outrageous restaurant. That's probably not even quite the right word for it. In Julesburg, Colorado. And him and I he has 2, I have 1 of the only known, there's 7 of them, $20 bills from the Bank of Julesburg. And his place is the old Bank of Julesburg. You got 3. Wow. That is huge. That is huge. One of these times I need to get there and just see this place. I tell you what, though, if I can't find a job, you might be getting that $20 bill. It's been since the beginning of the year. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I need to do something here, too. Hold on. There you are. Yeah, if you want to share, Barry, share your link. Matka, share yours so people can see. I've done everything. Literally everything. I'm waiting on this week to hear from four-wheeler. It's a four-wheeler shop as their parts person, and another one that I applied to yesterday. Heard back from them. Went and had an interview today. Is they call it nuclear testing, but it's not what you think it is. It's just one of the machines emits radiation. And it's basically testing concrete, testing dirt, something like that. I've done everything from clean sewers to work in the kitchen at a country club. In fact, the Eagles Club here, they want me to come cook on Saturday. They're having a mountain oyster taco bar, all you can eat. Some annual deal. Are mountain oysters popular there? I would never eat them, but supposedly I make them just outstanding. It's nothing different than making a gizzard, or anything fried. You just look at it and, look and smell. Matka, my Della's 22. That's my pup. Well, last year at the Eagles Club, we had, I think it was 100 pounds, and they sold out in like 2 hours. It's obviously not something you could do every day. But, maybe depending on the venue, twice a year, quarterly at the most. Because otherwise it loses its luster. But anyway, Model is 22. I'm asking for prayers, because she's not eating very much. She probably weighs, well, I ain't going to say that on the internet, but yeah, she's the third oldest living dog on the planet and top 15 all time. Her half-sister made it to 20. She's the world's oldest German Shorthair Pointer. The youngest out of that bunch was like, aside from there was a few puppies that died like within days. But everybody else, the youngest one was 15. And I think the parents, I didn't even think to keep track of it, you know. I think the parents were probably all around 20. Is she's still around, Matka? 102? That's pretty cool. We have here in Nebraska, there were twin sisters, or there are twin sisters, I should say. They turned 100 a week ago. Still drives. Good Lord, you let a woman drive, let alone 102? That's good, though. I'll tell you this, and you know this probably. Learn everything you can, you know, like about her past. Not so much for anybody's sake except her own, because if her mind does start going, you can bring her back around. My grandfather had Alzheimer's, but I knew enough about his past that, you know, I'll give an example. He wasn't working on it, but in his mind, he was just sitting in the chair and he was working on this lawnmower. And so I got him to tell me what he was doing. And we started talking about that. And it was a John Deere lawnmower. Well, he was from Monroe, Nebraska. I know this, when you hear it, it'll pan out. Monroe, Nebraska, and him and the family's last name is Peach. They built a combine, Peach bought a combine. They built a garage for the combine, John Deere, and they built it around it. Well, they couldn't get the thing back out because, like I said, they built it around it. Well, they didn't take into consideration the actual size of the combine. So they had to take down the whole wall and all this. But anyway, you know, it goes back to that. It goes to that. Then I go back to his childhood in Monroe, and then I go back to World War II and spin it all around and come back here, and he was okay. But it would be really cool, too, if you got, you know, you talk to her. Oh, do you remember any Indians? Do you remember stories? Because she would have heard stories about that, you know. And just be a diary. Not everybody hears 102 perspective anywhere. Like, you know, it was a completely different world then. Well, I would be interested in a book. That'd be neat to see. In fact, I'm going to reach out to you in community post. Grandma was interviewed a week or two ago. I haven't gotten to YouTube channel yet. Well, yeah, I'd like to see it. But I'm going to reach out to you. I'll put it in the community post. And we need to be in touch. For that, possibly the bill. I don't know about that yet. I know jobs are down 92,000 this year already. That'll just depend on what happens with all of this. And before that, I was doing sales at Beaver Bearing. And we're like the only company that actually, if you bring in just like a piece of a bearing, if you bring in a piece like that, we can find everything. But they didn't advertise how I said they should advertise, and it was a very wet year. So we didn't really sell the irrigation, didn't sell any parts whatsoever because nobody was using everything because it was a really great year. And they had to do cutbacks. I was the only employee. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. If they can't pay the bills, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, In fact, and I give him, which would have been my district manager, every bit of credit in the world. He actually has spent hours at work just trying to find me a job. There's just absolutely nothing going on here right now. And I'm in a really rural area. So that makes it tough. No, but anyway, like I said, good to see you. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to get paying attention to Model here. And I'll post something in community. I even went to these employment agencies, and I talked to her, and she says, oh, well, there's not really anything here because it's a factory town. But she said, oh, I could get you all kinds of jobs an hour away. It's just what do you do? What do you do? If shit gets bad, at least I've got a hunting rifle, and there's pastures around me that are full of cows. So, if it gets that bad, I'll at least be able to eat. It's $5.50 there. It's $2.80 here. But it is expected to go to $4 this week. I don't know the facts of that, but that's kind of what they were saying on TV. And the thing is, out here, those gas stations I can tell you right now, they're charging $2.80 something. They probably only paid $1.80 for it. I saw somewhere that it was $7 and some cents in San Diego. So, and about 2 hours ago, the ambassador of Iran said within hours there's going to start being strikes in the U.S. Yeah, no. And see, here's, yeah, talking about that gas station down the road. He got gas. It was, I think it was $1. I'll say $1.80. He was selling it for $2.60. So when they tell you they only make 4 cents, that ain't true. Yeah, but it is unfortunate. I wasn't here. Well, 2000s, I didn't come back here until 2003. I was overseas before the towers happened. And where I was, it was already the equivalent of $10 a gallon before that happened. And that was in a socialist country, so that just tells you what socialism is actually all about. Keep everybody poor, so they have to be under your thumb. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. From day one, pretty much. But anyway, I'm going to cut the stream. It was good seeing you again. Like I said, I'll reach out to you. And we'll keep in touch. I'll give you my email. And then we can exchange numbers or however you want. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. And I love you, Model.